Hello, hello, and welcome. We got the Robby Rowland show. Just a minute. He's in the waiting room. He's about to knock and enter. As he knocks, what are we thinking about the Giants? I know it's rough, but the Dodgers are really good this year. Oh, stand by. He's knocking. He should be entering the booth here. There he is. Oh, whoa, there he is.
Are we in?
You're in.
Let's go. Can you hear me? Everything good?
Everything's good.
Oh my gosh. I was worried for technical difficulties. It's my nightmare. Oh no.
Me?
How's my connection?
You're good. You're good.
All right, because it's like it's hiccuping a little bit on my end.
Okay.
I've never used this platform before, dude. You got to tell me about this. This is sick. You can
Brand
stream
new.
games. You can watch games and just sit here and talk.
Yes. And then you just knock like that and you can let people in the booth. So think about like all those people that are into your content and want to listen. You could monetize your podcast even more than you do now. You could let people in the booth. You can kick them out.
Where's this been my whole life?
I don't know, man. I've been trying to get a hold of you. You're busy.
Oh, shoot. Hey, someone did message me like I think last year, and they were doing something about like I think it was something about stream services and like have people like come in and watch games with you. That's what this is. This is like you're gonna pull up the game and then we sit here and like it's all recorded.
So there's many use cases for that, but this is one of them. So Eric Burns, Oakland A's,
and
Joe Manueli actually thought of this in Half Moon Bay, and they created a platform to do this. So on Tuesday night, they've got a Deuces Wild show with Will Clark and Eric Burns, and they literally just watch games and they just talk and banter.
They just talk, and you can just go onto this website and just like sign in and watch them.
Yeah. So you just go to the ticket, and then it's either free or it's $1 or whatever. You click on, you get in, and then you're in the booth. And then if you knock and you're lucky enough, they'll let you in. You can talk with Will the Thrill.
Dude, you should have never showed me this.
No way.
Yo, I'm gonna be like, this is just gonna be on now. My whole life is just gonna be like live streamed.
Love it.
Like it's not already.
I know. Well, first, I gotta issue you an apology.
I gotta issue you one too. So yeah, you go first, and I'll come back.
So me and my wife were in Healdsburg for a wedding the weekend that I texted you, and then I was like, "Hey man, you want to like hang out on Sunday?" I forgot it was Father's Day because I was traveling. So I don't want your dad or you mad at me.
Dude.
Okay.
The funniest part is like I didn't even like say anything. I didn't even say like, "Oh, dude, no, it's Father's Day." I was just like, "Oh, Sunday. Oh no, I got to do this." And I was like, "Oh man, Dad, don't watch this. Sorry, man."
Yeah,
one of my bullpens on it. That's good. No, man, I wanted to issue you an apology, but you'll have to refresh my memory. When we first started texting, like I want to say before I went to Winter Ball, right? Because we were trying to get on this. Were you sending me text messages with green bubbles?
Was that
you?
I was.
See, now it gives me like the ultimate excuse. Tell me if you feel this way. If you get a text with green bubbles, like there's this underlying like truth that you just say I never got it, right? Because it's like it's green bubbles. Gosh,
because I've got a Google.
What are you doing with green bubbles, man?
It's a longer conversation for a different day. So I had to go on my iPad or my iMac just to text you. Like you're the only one that I text you on my iMac, my iPad.
And I got it, right? So here's my thing. All right. So I'm a big Apple Watch guy. I know this has nothing to do with what we're going to be talking about today, but for some reason, I don't get like text messages when I'm not in like the area of my phone, right? On this, if it's like an actual Android. So I think that was the issue. So I wanted to issue you an apology, but I'm happy we're here now. We did it. We're here, man. Let's do it.
So
what
everyone
do we
just
do?
heard our conversation, but now I'm going to officially kick off the show with an introduction.
Yeah.
So hello and welcome to Big Ben and K Winn on NoFilter.net. Each week we broadcast live on NoFilter.net, Caffeine TV, and YouTube. This week we got a good one, the Robby Rowland Show. This is like 2 years in the making. Big Ben could not attend because he's picking up his daughter, so it's just K Winn and this guy, Robby Rowland. You know him from? He's a creator. He's an entrepreneur. He's a walking three-point bucket. He's Cloverdale's finest, and he is the number one source on the internet for pitching, instruction, and education. Robby Rowland, welcome to the show.
Holy smokes, dude. With that introduction, I'm ready to go drop a freaking 50-piece. Come on. Let's go.
Right.
When's the game starting?
Oh, right now.
Fire me up. Shoot. No, that was good, man. You've done this for a while now, huh? Shoot.
Do what I can.
Yeah, thank you for having me, man. I'm actually really excited to sit here and talk with you, dude. It's been a while since we actually kind of shot. So
I was trying to think. So wait, you got drafted in 2010?
Dude, are we gonna go down this time loop of just like how fast time goes?
Yeah, because I'm thinking it's Air Hoosiers had to be 2008 or 2009 summer.
I want to say 09 because I think I was going into my senior year. Yeah, 09.
Wow.
It's the simpler times, huh?
I know. A lot has changed and a lot is still similar.
Yeah, ain't that life, brother. But yeah, hey, it's good to see you. It's good to be on, man. Thank you for having me. I'm excited. This is gonna be good. I'm pumped to see this platform too, man. This is so cool. Technology.
To have you. So we have you for about 30 minutes, 5:35-ish.
Yeah, let's just
get you on for another obligation.
I didn't even know the Warriors game starts at 5, dude.
So we're gonna get right into it, okay? I'm coming out with heat.
Come on. That's how we do. Come on, we're Hoosiers, man.
I'm gonna give you a Major League Baseball starting pitcher, and I want you to give me the first word that comes to your mind.
Oh,
okay.
Wow, let's do it. Okay.
Jared Jones, Pittsburgh.
Oh, I just got a mechanical. First word. Shoot. Poised.
Oh man, he looked good in that first start.
Look good, dude. Look good. Pittsburgh. Oh, yeah, you look.
NK's four-seam fastball. I like that action.
Yeah. Man, it's just crazy. I was just with Pittsburgh too, but it's like 20 years ago now. Because when you said that, I was like, oh yeah, Pittsburgh, and I was like, do I know him? And then that's how I usually like associate names in my mind. But now it's like I'm so friggin' old. I don't know anyone.
You're still connected. Everyone knows you.
Connected, baby. Connected.
Grayson Rodriguez. Baltimore.
Oh my gosh, Baltimore, right? I don't think I've seen him pitch live, just highlights, and that's always an unfair one. Can I get a skip? Because I don't want to just go off the highlights.
You could skip 100 miles an hour. Skip. Super change. Have you seen his changeup?
Bugs Bunny, right?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, because he's breaking the internet, man. Pitching Ninja got him all over the internet, going just nasty. Oh.
All right, this next guy, Terry Skubal, Detroit.
Hey. Cy Young.
Yeah, you like that.
Stand up. Detroit, stand up. My boy Jack Flaherty over there too, man. They're nice. They're nice. He's nasty though. He's nasty.
Lefty.
So for one word, yeah, it would be nasty. Nasty, dude. That's so generic.
All right, I got another guy, same division, lefty, Kansas City, Cole Reagans.
Oh, Gatlin. His middle name is Gatlin. Cole Gatlin Reagans. I watched him yesterday, and I'm sitting there. I'm like, this guy's nice. He was in the Chapman trade, and he's a dude. Okay, so electric. I would say the same. Him and Harrison for the Giants are very similar guys. You saw Harrison throw, I think, last night, right?
Yeah, he's 1-1 now.
Yeah, he's nice too. Lefties, man. You got another one for me?
So that's all I have. I want to go into what I'm calling analytics versus the arm.
You got analytics versus the arm on this show, kid. Come on.
What are your thoughts on Data analytics as it
Mhm.
relates to starting pitchers.
As it relates to starting pitchers, yeah. So funny story, just to give you brief context. I blew up my lat in 2018, and that was right around the time where I started to blow up like with my brand and just kind of go all in because I was away from baseball. And so the one thing that was mainstream at that time was like the data analytics, right? It was jumping on the scene. So I just dove head first, man. Information overload, paralysis by analysis. But right, like at that time, I was like, I don't need to filter any of this. I'm not playing. So I learned a lot about it, got a lot of like, got very familiar with it, and then started to try to apply it to my own pitching. And with data analytics, especially when it comes to starting pitching, there's this fine line, man. As an athlete, you have to find flow, right? Like we're so much instinctual athleticism is involved, right? Like that's where you get like top notch freaking athletic ability. So when we're in our head a lot, trying to like articulate a lot of thoughts, especially with data analytics, gives you a lot to think about. Can be very, I know from experience is what I'm saying. I know it could be very, very daunting, but I think a lot of guys actually apply it to their benefit. You're seeing a lot of guys that will use data analytics as a source to then gain confidence, right? So like outings going whatever, but they know that like the tech guy within the organization said his slider is top 1% in all of MLB, right? With like gyroscopic spin. So now he's looking at his stuff, his arsenal. He's like, yeah, I got a freaking nasty one. Like no matter what position I'm in, I can always throw that nasty slider and I'll be fine. So it's always that fine line, right? It's such a good question, such a good topic. I could talk about it forever, but as an individual listening, it's like if you're going to apply it, that's great, but learn how much you can articulate and apply in the moment without getting too far away from like your foundational athletic ability, if that's a
That's
good
a
answer
great
there.
response. And my next question, there's all these analytics. Pitchers are throwing harder than ever, but
Mm,
they're throwing fewer innings than ever from a starting pitcher.
mm.
What do you attribute that to?
What do you mean? They don't need to throw 9 anymore. They got donkeys coming out of the pen, dude, all freaking 100 and just saying, hey, here you go. Game's over in the 5th. Give me 5. No problem. Just pay those relievers a little bit more. That's my thing. You know what I'm saying? Like starting pitching is the best job I think in all sports. You pitch one day, you get the 5-day routine. It's amazing. But it's true, man. Like the guys that I talk about this all the time, the evolution in pitching and just looking at people's arsenals, man. And it's like used to have guys coming out of the pen, back end guys, maybe like 7, 8, 9 guys would have 2+ pitches,
Yeah.
right? But it was very rare you're getting a reliever with 2+, 3+. Now guys are coming out. I watched freaking the whole bullpen game for the Giants last night. And I'm just like, everyone's throwing 95 plus. Everyone's got a secondary that's disgusting. And they got a third pitch. It's usually like a changeup or whatever, or a split now. Splits are coming in. And I'm just like, what's going on, man? Like, it's crazy how good these guys are. But, you say, make the same argument for the hitters, right? Testament to how much they're evolving as well. But yeah, man, I think I would love to see starters go longer. I'm a big like starting pitching guy. I like watching the playoffs when it comes down to it. Those starters gotta get after it in the games in a best of 7. But I get it. Like during the regular season, those guys in the bullpen are so good. Like let them take care of it.
So is it a dying breed? These names I'm going to throw out:
ah,
Max Scherzer,
ah,
Justin Verlander, like even Diego Clemens, Randy Johnson, Greg Maddux, Glavine, 300 wins through a lot of innings.
yeah,
The gold standard for the Hall of Fame used to be 300 wins.
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
think any of these guys are going to get 300. Kershaw, I don't think he's going to get it.
As much as we hope to, right?
Yeah.
Gosh, you got to pull for him. Yeah, I mean, maybe. See, here's the thing within sports, especially in baseball, it's this, right? It always finds a way to like come back. And I've kind of seen that. Like, it's really interesting. Like, we talk and joke about how I'm getting older and it sucks. But the cool thing is, like, now that I'm getting older, I get to see the ebbs and flows. Like, when I got in, seeing how baseball was played, managed, and then seeing the evolution over time. And I just think, and again, this is all speculation. Like, who knows what's going to happen? But I think there's going to be an issue with the sustainability of pitchers, especially guys that are throwing 100 miles an hour. That's a lot of torque, man. That's a lot of torque on the elbow and the shoulder over 162 games, right? Like, that's a lot. And I think starters actually, I was talking about this yesterday with Zach Wheeler. Zach Wheeler was pitching. This would have been a great opportunity to hop in this live stream Zach Wheeler, talk about he's learning right now. Zach Wheeler can go out and throw 100, but he's learning right now. He can throw 93, 94, get the task done, right? Like accomplish the goal of getting the hitter out and maybe save a little bit. It's April. It's going to be May, then June, then the July dog days. It's like he knows that he's playing for a playoff spot, World Series. So you can see the way he's changing the way he pitches, and I think that's going to pick up. So I think we're seeing a big spike. Ooh, big spike, and then it's going to go back down, more sustainability maybe. Guys are going to start learning that in order for them to get paid, right? Like they got to sustain their career in the big leagues, not just get there, right? And that's so hard to do, but it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. But it's really fun to watch, right? As a fan right now, turn on a baseball game and just seeing how good they are. Oh,
It's great. And that brings up a good point. So I was in New York from 2010 to 2016, and that's when the Mets had Matt Harvey, Noah Syndergaard, Jacob deGrom, and Zach Wheeler.
Yeah, they had Wheeler.
I think Harvey's out of the game. I think Syndergaard's out of the game, and deGrom, he's got a second Tommy John.
Yeah, that's tough. I was just saying, I miss watching him pitch. I miss watching Scherzer pitch, man. You said his name earlier. I was like, I miss watching those guys pitch. But yeah, dude, the Mets, and they had who was the lefty? They had another lefty, right? And the year they made it to the World Series in 15.
Yeah, and they played
Steven Matz.
Yeah.
And he was a dog too, man. They had a rotation. And then it was cool because then they left. Well, not Harvey. Harvey was a different case, but like Wheeler left, Matz left, and then they became dudes, right? Like deGrom obviously became a dude within New York, but like these guys that leave, kind of similar to like the OKC situation, right? With Harden and Westbrook, they leave, they become their own, like that's a whole nother conversation. But yeah, it's really cool to see that. I didn't know you were in New York that long.
I was, yeah.
Big Apple.
We talk about time moving. I was just going to move for a couple of years, and then it was 2, then it was 3, and then I was like, wait, I got to get back to the West Coast.
Wait a second. These 6 years just went by in 1 year. So how does this work? I hear it, man. Time's crazy.
So what do you attribute to all the Tommy John surgeries now?
Well, so this is it. Well, I shouldn't say that. Gosh, I don't like to speak in absolutes, but this is my opinion, right? So like when I came into the game, the underlying, but not, it was the unspoken truth in like pitching specific in like Major League Baseball and all the minor league organizations, right? In affiliated ball, that the secret was like the harder you threw, the more of an opportunity you were going to get. Yeah. But all while the coaches and the instructors and everyone who worked with you within the organization would say, don't worry about velocity, worry about a command, and like fine tune your pitches and all these other things, become a pitcher, like after all that saying, like now the secret I think got out, right? Like then right around that 2018, 7, or maybe 16, 17, 18, where people started really seeing the increase in velocity, right? Like that is where I think everyone goes, all right, now I'm going to train and I'm going to adapt my body to be able to throw this hard, right? And this is what I talked about earlier too, is like maybe the human body is only equipped and able to handle so much for a short amount of time, and then it's gonna, do what it's saying. I blew out my lat, I blew out my elbow, dude. I had some surgeries along my career. I kind of know, like at a certain point you can do everything right and you can take care of your body, but it's like sometimes it just goes, man. Sometimes it just doesn't, it doesn't want to work.
Other time is undefeated.
I'll tell you what. So I think now with this kind of where we're at in baseball, with everyone like going, okay, like in order for me to accomplish my dream of being a Major League Baseball player, a pitcher, I need to throw as hard as humanly possible, essentially, right? So then they go out and they do it. They train their body, they do it. And then like, who knows, they get there and then they go, well, in order for me to stay here, I still have to throw, X hard, and they have to always continuously impress. That's the thing with sports, right? Like everyone remembers what you've done for them lately, right? So how good were you in your last appearance, right? So it's like there's never ending, like can't let the foot off the gas. And I think that's where you're going to see like this uptick in injuries. But at the same time, like these organizations are kind of in this understanding that like bullpen arms right now are a dime a dozen, like next guy up, they bring a guy up from AA, 100 miles an hour out of the pen. Here we go. Right. It's crazy. It's crazy. But so that's where I think there's this disconnect, right? So like owners will think like, okay, we have this whole farm system full of essentially like the same guys that throw hard or whatever. We'll ring these guys through until they go next guy up. Everyone's throwing so freaking hard. Everyone's so nasty now. They have it made, right? These owners, like, it's crazy.
Yeah, and these starters that are coming up in the minors, like, we'll just put them in the pen, bring them up faster, put them in the back of the pen.
Put them in the pen, man. They'll be even nastier. You know, that's what's also fun about the playoffs time. We were saying earlier is like when the starters then get into that situation where they can come out of the pen, right? Like the Bumgarner of 2014.
Oh, that was so good.
For now. I mean, shoot, if I ever need motivation for a day, I just go on YouTube and I type in 2014 Bumgarner Game 7. Give me it.
I was so nervous for him as he was walking out.
Oh man, how could you?
I'm just like, can he keep it up? Like, he's done it all series. They've got to figure him out. This is the time they're going to figure him out.
You know what's funny too? So 2014 was I think after my 4th year of pro ball, and it took me just being a fan again to watch and just remember the simple truth that when you're good, like, hitters don't stand a chance, man. Like, right? Like, we always, as pitchers, it's so mental, right? Like, we always dread that barrel and we stay up. We can't sleep at night sometimes because we hear all these barrels in our, in our head. And it's like, and so we subconsciously tie this, like, hitters are really good dynamic to this kind of mental approach. And then you watch a guy like Bumgarner who comes in, and let's be honest, right? Like, Bumgarner in his day could throw it up 100 miles an hour. And he was, when he got drafted, I think he was like a hard throwing guy, right? Like, when he got drafted out of high school, and then you see him in the World Series, 92, 93, but just putting it where he wants it with the intent, right? The freaking, like, I'm going to come get you. You know what I'm saying? That dying breed, right? And it's not about stuff in that moment. And it sometimes typically isn't in October. Not about stuff. It's just grit, how much you want it, just lay it all on the line. Oh man. Yeah, I'm ready to go get a 50 piece for you for sure, dude. We're fired up. We're fired up over here. Come on.
All right. Well, sticking with baseball and sticking with pitching, I want to hear, give me your top 3 starting pitching staffs this year. Doesn't have to be in order. Just talk about some of the pitching staffs you like.
Okay. So I said Tigers earlier. But now that I'm sitting here thinking about it, I can't think of the other third. So you said Scooble, the Flaherty, the guy that I just watched. Now I'm going through the box scores. I think they had a doubleheader today. Or Shelby Miller's on there too. Yeah. I like the Tigers rotation, dude. Unfortunately, I don't like the Mets rotation.
No, I don't either.
Oh shoot. I mean, how could you not ask that question, and how can I not respond with Dodgers, like, in a drop of a hat? You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't want to go there, but they're nasty. Orioles got a staff. Orioles got a good pen too, man. I'm just going through all these box scores.
Philly, you mentioned Philly earlier. Aaron Nola, Wheeler.
Yeah, Philly. Oh my gosh, World Series last year, Arizona Diamondbacks.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's a good staff. Yeah, Phillies for sure. Phillies kind of off to a slow start.
Yeah.
Padres, right? Padres got a killer staff.
We're West Coast pod, so I got to throw out the Mariners. Castilla.
Hey,
Gilbert with that splitty.
Those guys are nasty. Mariners got it figured out. Yeah. The Braves always, I would always throw them up there. Gosh, what was I just gonna say? Who am I missing with Texas? Everyone's like, Scherzer and DeGrom are down. Montgomery didn't sign back. Oh man, I'm drawing.
All I know about Texas is their big bats.
Well, yeah, right?
All I know.
I went to the World Series last year,
and they just hit top to bottom in that order. You can throw me out there, and the offense will put up more numbers.
Hey, by the way, speaking of throwing you out there, I saw your clip on Instagram. You and your boy saying, "Hey, tag up Big 3, Caitlin Clark. She can win with anyone."
Yeah.
Come on now.
Yeah, I think she could.
Enough of this baseball talk. Let's transition. Come on. Let's give me some basketball. Give me some hoops. Give me some Caitlin Clark. Did you see the viewers on that game? Yeah. Like, broke all the college basketball records.
Yeah.
It's so good for the game.
Now Final Four. She's going against Paige Paige
Mm.
Buckets on UConn. Everyone forgot about Paige because she got
Oh,
hurt last year. But
yeah.
like, Paige is coming for that crown.
She's
Paige is gonna
nice.
work out.
She's nice, dude. Paige Buckets. Can you have a better nickname?
No, you can't. It's awesome.
Oh man, I watched that Iowa LSU game, man. I watched that whole thing, and that's probably the most impressive performance I've seen on a basketball court. I mean, like it's tough, right? Because we watch Steph Curry and Clay and all that, but like a single performance on a basketball court with what's at stake, there, like her legacy on the line. Like people don't realize that, right? Like it's a basketball game. There's so much to it there, and like holy smokes, she was impressive. Oh, that
And
was
the
fun.
women's game is almost just as exciting or more exciting than men's game. Like, think of all the people they're putting out, like what South Carolina can do.
Oh my
Dot
gosh,
Staley has turned that program inside and out. You've
this is
got
the
Juju on USC. She's got that Mamba Kobe mentality.
Oh my gosh, the girl for UCLA too was like 6'7", 6'8". Like I'm like, what's the world is crazy. It's so crazy. I mean, how about this? This is the first year I think I can say with a straight face is truth. I watched more college women's basketball than I did men's.
Yeah.
And it was great. This was
I can say that last year in the tournament, I turned to women's basketball and I kept it there and I enjoyed it.
Oh,
And I
did you?
started following the stars. And then this year, I'm like, oh, she's back. She's back. Look out for
Yeah.
this team.
Man, I used to be so plugged into college hoops, man. And then that's one thing that I'd say as soon as I became a freaking stupid baseball player, I disconnected from college hoops, man. And I saw Duke lost the other day. That used to be my team.
Yeah.
That was tough. But yeah, I don't even it's crazy looking at the tournament bracket, online and just being like, wow, this is like I used to be the kid that would fill out 80 brackets. I used to stay home from school that Thursday and Friday,
Of
watch the
course,
first round.
yeah.
Oh man, those were the days. Now I'm like, shoot, what am I doing? Oh, but those are fun times too. I never realized it, like having spring training on with the tournament first, second round. So it's like you wake up in the morning, it's like boom, coffee, games locked. Oh,
Yeah.
ain't
And
no
then
better.
it's during that time where basketball starts to matter, NBA.
NBA starts to
They'll
matter.
start in like a week now. Like
And
there's a
we have
point in March where I forget about the NBA because it's spring training, it's March Madness.
so much going
And
on.
I'm like, wait a minute, the NBA playoffs start in like a week and a half.
I did the same thing the other day, and I like kind of panicked because I was like, shoot, are the Warriors even going to make it? Because I saw the Rockets went off and won 15 straight, 12 straight,
Yeah,
or something crazy, and now they're playing them right now. Oh, there's a lot going on. This is a good time to be a sports fan. Are you an NFL guy?
I am Niners. I'm still gutted from that Super Bowl loss.
Yeah. I tuned in there. I'm not a huge football guy, but I'm a Niners guy. I would say I can hold my own in a conversation. It was tough to watch. I just we have it so good as Bay Area fans though.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we have it so good. But you could say the same thing for Kansas City, so it's all good. Oh, we have it good, man. I think. What do you think about the Warriors? Do you think the Warriors are? You think we're in a good spot?
No, they're in an awful spot
We're in a tough spot.
because we've got to beat the Lakers
Mm.
to move on for an opportunity to play either the Kings or the Suns, for then an opportunity to play the Nuggets.
Oh
And
man,
like I think we've lost like 9 straight against the Nuggets. Like we got no chance against the Nuggets.
I'll be honest. I don't think they have a chance against freaking LA. They're too big.
I mean, we
That
saw
one
the
game.
same thing last year, like LeBron and AD. It's
Yeah.
just too much.
I think we should have had him last year, though. What's that guy that came off the bench for LA, dropped like a 30 piece in game 4 or something?
Was it Austin Reeves or was it?
No, it was like gosh, I can't remember his name, dude. But it is like one of the games that I thought we should have won, and that would have brought us up 2-1, and then the series would have been totally different. I think it was at LA. He came off the bench, remember, and he maybe had like a 25 pass.
And then there's that game where Jordan Poole shot that like 45 footer at the end of the game.
Oh, Yeah, Jordan Poole. Oh shoot.
I'm glad
Yeah.
we're off that contract. I'm glad he got paid, but I'm also glad we're
I
off
am
that
too.
contract.
He's a champion. He's a
I know.
champion.
He did some great things for the Warriors. He helped us when we beat Boston. We wouldn't have won that series
I
without
don't
him.
think we would have won that without him. Oh, switch gears. Talk. Oh, tell me how you like Podzenski's game. Oh, that's me.
Yeah.
That's me, man.
No
That's my
way.
spot.
You were more, from what I remember, you were more of a shooter. Here's my comp.
Shooting.
You were more like a JJ Redick in my mind.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that I
Odds
was
is more
screaming.
downhill, go to the basket. You were
Yeah,
more just come off the screen, pop, pop, pop.
yeah. I just love the way he just plays hard, dude. I love that.
Yeah.
Like that was for me. That was always the one thing that I could control, right? Like you can't really control you coming into a gym and just like, all right, I'm gonna drop 50. I'll take 10 threes. They'll go in, no problem. Like you can always control your effort, right? So like I love watching him, man. He just goes all out. Santa Clara
That's right.
draft well.
Jalen Williams, Santa Clara for OKC too.
OKC's good.
Yeah. Hey, did Santa Clara recruit you in baseball?
Baseball and basketball, I think. I want to say that they were one of the ones that were dual sport.
If you were to go to college, which college would you have picked at that time?
Oh, I committed to Oregon.
Oh, you did?
You didn't know this story?
No.
Dude,
No.
I committed I was the plan. So I didn't get a dual scholarship, but the plan, and let's preface this whole thing by saying like I wanted to sign professionally, right? Like
Yeah.
that was the goal. But I had this plan, like, okay, well, go to Oregon, University of Nike at the time,
Oh,
and I
yeah.
would see if there was going to be an opportunity for me to play hoops if I
Mhm.
wanted to. But that's a lot, that would be a lot. 2 sports in college, oof. But that
If
would have been
anyone
so much
could do it,
fun.
you could do it.
Yeah. Hey, what's funny is so I want to say right before I signed with St. Louis, I think it was would have been the winter of 2015. I was
Okay.
thinking about because when I got drafted, like when you get signed, if you didn't go to college or you have school left over, they'll pay your scholarship, right? If you ever want to like take it. And I was thinking about doing it and going to play hoops. That was that spot where I was like, this would be the chance. This would be
Yeah.
the time, right? Because I was still somewhat young. And basketball, aside from Chris Paul, LeBron James, Steph Curry, it's such a young game, like it's such a I played men's league last year. It took such a toll on my body, dude.
Are
Got
we going to see that content still popping up?
Hey, you saw it. I know you
I
always
saw
get
that.
comments on that, dude. I love you, man. You always fire me up with those comments. Come on, man. That's the cool thing. As the jump shot, that's the thing that don't go away.
It doesn't go. It never goes away. The
Never go.
endurance, the handles,
Oh, the
and the
handles go.
verticality, that all goes away.
Verticality goes probably the quickest, right? And then the handles, man. I brought out some tennis balls last year. I watched Steph's whole pregame warm up. I said, okay, I'm getting this thing back. Phil Doherty, hey, where's he at? Come on, he's got to be yelling at me something to do with this juggling thing. I need to be juggling 3 balls. No, that's true though. The handles go quick, but the shot don't go. Shot don't go. Yeah,
All right, I know to be sensitive of your time. Want to do a little West Coast swing, and then we'll get you out of here?
Oh, tell me what's the West Coast swing?
All right, I'm going to ask you 5 questions, quick shooters. You just say what's on the top of your mind.
Oh, shoot. Okay. Don't leave me stumped.
All right. In-N-Out, Shake Shack, or Five Guys?
Am I ranking these or just giving you my best?
You just give me what you want out of those 3.
Because I don't say this lightly. I could do an hour podcast just on the top 5 best burgers of all time. And
Are any of those in there, top 3?
In-N-Out is goated.
Yeah.
So In-N-Out is a different dynamic that people don't understand, because it's like, for me, I get In-N-Out when I come back home from the season, or I did, right, when I was playing.
Because it's that California connection.
It's a different emotional, spiritual connection you have with this burger that amplifies its the way it sits in you, and it's just, man, I'll tell you what, though, they got this hidden menu, guys listening that never been In-N-Out. Explore the Flying Dutchman, because it's the Flying Dutchman where it's just the 2 patties and the cheese, and you can get those for like, I swear, I think it's like $1.
Really?
You get 2 patties. So what I do is I I get 2 4x4s. You've seen me eat, so I could put it down. I get 2 4x4s, and I open them up, put 4 more patties on them, and then I get the other one. So it's 2 8x8s, essentially what it comes out to be, but it's like Flying Dutchman's goat. 129, 2 patties and a slice of cheese.
Flying Dutchman, you heard that. I
On
love
out,
it.
yeah. In and out. Hey, Five Guys is so good.
Five Guys fries are fire.
Five Guys fries are expensive though, man. In and out's got that cheap fry, you know. When
Yo,
you're a minor league ball player.
I used to Postmates a Shake Shack burger and Postmates
Shake Shack.
Five Guys fries.
Oh, you
Five Guys fries with the Shake Shack double Shack burger. It's
dude.
you got to try it out.
I'm surprised you didn't get in trouble for that. I'm surprised Postmates didn't like cancel your account. They were like, listen, man, you got to pick one.
Hey, they want that business. They need that surcharge.
Oh man, I'll tell you what, dude. DoorDash was the best and worst thing ever invented for me, because I went and played during COVID. I went and played in like Kentucky, and that's when I learned about DoorDash.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm screwed now. My life is ruined. The simplicity of it, right?
Yeah.
What sucks is I'm in a small town right now, Northern California. So it's like if I wanted in and out, I got to get my butt in the car and I got to drive like 40 minutes or whatever. Can't DoorDash that. But Postmates, 2 different burger chains, man.
Good for you. All right, you can only keep one this off season. Draymond Green or Klay Thompson?
You keep Draymond. It's so tough, man. I love. There's nothing more I love than just watching Klay. Klay's one of the honestly, out of everyone in the NBA, he's just so fun and entertaining to watch, right? Like just his mannerisms and his talent, his footwork, his catch and shoot. Like there's so many things to his game. But I'll tell you what, you watched that game the other night, Draymond on the court. Oh,
he's a difference maker.
You can't replace that.
No.
And how come when he got drafted, no one talked about how long his arms are? Like they pushed him all the way back in the draft because he was too short, but he's got like a 7'5" wingspan. I don't like how'd that guy get how'd no one, but hey.
Well, I think what hurt him is he stuck around until I think his senior year.
Yeah.
Now, like if you're around your senior year, they automatically assume there's something wrong with you, and they take those young guys that have a higher ceiling.
Yeah, it was like that in baseball. The same way. Now it's kind of changing a little bit. They're actually drafting more like older guys, more experienced guys, just because talent is all-time high everywhere. Athletes, specimens.
All right, you can only choose one. Throw 100 miles an hour, have a nasty slider, or have a dominating changeup.
So this is okay. We could how do you quantify nasty? You know what I'm saying? Are we going to the data analytics and we going top percentage of swing and miss? Like
I'm talking like John Smoltz slider in his prime.
Oh, you went John Smoltz. So here's the thing. I would say that subjectively based, like when you look at like pitches, right? Like it's not necessarily going to be consistently nasty all the time. Okay. But if you throw 100, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. First of all, there's only select few people on the planet that can do that, right? Like the task of that in and of itself. So for me, it's always going to be throw 100. I got really close in my career. I got 99. Ooh. And I'll tell you what, there's not really a better feeling, right? Like it's kind of that same feeling when you're coming down the court and like, that you don't know what you're going to do. You don't know how you're going to do it, but it's going in. You know what I'm saying? That internal confidence in it. It's the same thing when you throw 100. It just brings about a different level of like conviction inside you. And it's just, here you go, man. Yeah. So I'll choose 100, even though I'd like to choose all 3 if I could.
All right. Last question. We'll let you out of here. If you could go back in time, knowing what you know now, what would you tell the younger Robby Rowe at 18, just before he gets drafted and he's headed off to start his major league career?
Wow. That's such a good question. Dang, that's such a good question. And the best part about it is I'm prepped for this answer because because I talk about this a lot, man. And I am not somebody that ever like thinks about or regrets anything, right? Like life is life, man. It's all been such a big learning experience, and I'm so thankful for all of it, throughout the journey. But the one thing that I'd say, man, is that, Rob, you're good enough. You know what I'm saying? Because I think when I got in, there was this little subtle, like, not doubt, dude. It wasn't. I've always been very confident, but it was this like, I need to be better mentality, and I think that led into like, okay, well, I guess I'm not good now, and I need to like work hard to be good, and that's all like true. But I think it took away, I guess, my confidence in the moment when I was 18, 19, 20, 21, like, I was picked high, man, 88th overall. Like I was there for a reason, and I think somewhere along the way, I just kind of lost that identity and that sense of confidence, And I thought about this a few years back. I think I did a podcast on this same question, and I just said, like, I'd tell myself that I'm good enough, and I don't need to like try to be anyone that I'm not. Stay true to who you are, and like just keep working, man, and it'll all like take care of itself. Like it's so tough, man, being an athlete. It's finding the fine line, the balance of like, all right, like if I'm working too hard at something, right, like I might be getting away from something that makes me who I am.
Yeah.
So it's tricky, but that's such a good question. Oh,
I've asked a bunch of successful people like yourself that, and it always comes back to the mental side of it.
always
Like
mental.
the mental side of it.
Yeah, it's hardly like, could you imagine if you're like, hey, 18-year-old Rob, yeah, you gotta bench press more, man. You gotta
You gotta do more squats, man.
hey, you gotta get a Bowflex, all right, and you gotta put in the work. All right, just stop. What's funny too is, man, I almost said this publicly when I was talking about what I would tell my younger self, because there's so many like things, right? You could tell like someone back in the, if we talked about time travel, but I was thinking about like doing a whole podcast or whatever on like, what if I told myself like, you can play two sports, like you can go do, because when you get older, tell me if I'm wrong, but like that's something you think about, right? Like when you were at your physical prime, remember when you woke up in the mornings, you weren't sore and you were just like, I can do anything.
Yeah. Play basketball in the morning and baseball in the evening.
We used to play all the sports throughout the whole day. Now it's like I play a men's league game and I'm done for 2 days. We got one game a week.
Oh man. Well, hey, this has been a blast. Thank you for coming on. Definitely want to have you come back on sometime.
Dude, let's do it. Let's do that. I want to meet your guy too, man. A little bummed that he didn't get to join us. That would have been a fun one.
Yeah. And what we want to do is I actually haven't told him this, but we want to take our wives up to Healdsburg, right? And then we'll have them hang out, and we'd love to like catch a bullpen or like something to do. Like that's cool. Like we've always talked about doing like action sports with like a subject matter expert. Like we'd love to like play long toss with you, or like.
Could you imagine? That'd be a good like content idea. Like just that's such a good idea. We were talking about this the other day, to have a competition of like putting other sports athletes in different sports.
That's good.
That's good, right? Like seeing other people just like play like it's all sports. It's all requires a certain amount of athleticism, right? But it's like baseball is so unique.
Body movement, right?
Oh man. That's another, I mean, shoot, we could talk about that all day, right? Like how good basketball is for you, just movement quality, just movement based, right? Like I would have never been the baseball player I am today if I would have never played basketball.
And that's why kids should play multiple sports, because you develop different like parts of the body. And also sometimes like it's okay to be a role player in one sport and a star in the other, because then you know how to coexist with everyone on your team.
Well, that's the thing, right? Kids think they got to be the star, like if they play the sport, right? Like, nah, dude, just play it, because it's only gonna positively impact your life, right? Because you're gonna learn about a specific type of failure or success. You're gonna learn about different types of movement, right? Brain body connection, how to organize differently. You're gonna learn about
how to sacrifice for the greater good of the team.
For the greater good, man. I mean, I'm not passing though. You give me a double team, the shot's going up. Come on.
Oh, all right. Do you want to tell our listeners where they can find you and consume your content?
Where can't you, man? Come on. Gotta put my face everywhere. I'm on
Let
it.
him know.
MySpace, baby. MySpace. Oh man. Robby Row 1-2. Robbie with a Y. Holla at your boy. Instagram, TikTok, X now. X Twitter. I still say Twitter. Twitter X. You know, all that good stuff. My podcast is the Robby Row Show podcast. You can find that on wherever you get your podcasts. And I just got this new mic, so thank you for giving me an opportunity to speak into it.
Yeah. What are you doing for your lighting?
It's bad, right?
No. It's.
Well, I just noticed.
I see you clearly. I like it.
Well, I noticed Google Chrome like does this huge background blur, and it's like blurring my beanie because it's black. So that, you know, aside from that, we're cooking. My setup's kind of dope. Do you see the jerseys in the background?
Yeah. Well, I can't see them now, but I've seen them on your other show.
Yeah. The lighting's always been something for me because it's like no matter what I do, I try to find like my quote unquote good side, but it's like I'm so ugly, I just can't find it, and the lighting doesn't help me ever, you know. And I'm just sitting here grinding with lighting, it's not working out. I don't think.
I think you're looking great.
That's all I needed to hear. I wasn't seeking an affirmation from you.
Folks, we're out of here. Catch us next week. Catch us anywhere you get your podcast. Social media, it's at Big Ben K Winn _ at Big Ben K Winn _ X, TikTok. We went on Facebook for my mom and my aunt.
I know, right?
We're everywhere.
What's your MySpace, dude? Tell me your MySpace username.
That's the only place we are.
We only launch our music on MySpace.
All right, man. Hey, all the success. Love catching up with you.
Let's do this again.
If you're ever down in the LA area, let me know.
Yeah, I will. I'm usually pretty good. LA is tough, man.
I know.
Bless your soul for doing it.
Yeah.
But, you know, I'm in a small town. I was a small town kid. You know that. 3 stoplights, baby.
Yeah.
Scooter
We'll
swag.
be up there when we come up to Healdsburg.
Hey, if you do come up to Healdsburg, let me know. I
won't do it on Father's Day, I promise.
No, this is so funny. That's such a good story. I didn't even think about it either. That's hilarious. Yeah, not on Father's Day, but if you do, let me know. And then let's do this again. Is there a way you can like stream a game on this while just talking?
Yeah, you can do everything on this platform. I'll sync up with you offline and show you.
Yeah, I bet.
All right, good.
See you, dude.
Yeah.